Meeting. This is to advise those present at the meeting of the Board of Education of Finance Regional District in the County of Ocean that adequate notice of this meeting was provided in accordance with the Open Public Meeting Act. The notice has been posted in the Board of Education office, junior high school and high school buildings. The notice was also mailed to the press of Atlantic City and filed with the municipal clerks of Bass River Township, Eagleswood Township, Little Egg Harbor Township, and the Borough of Tuckerton. Roll calls, Mr. Brennan.
Mr. Bonnicky, Mrs. Chambers, Ms. Hanadow.
Yes.
Mr. Kabricki.
Here.
Mrs. McVeigh.
Here.
Ms. Palladino, Mrs. Paklakua,
Yes.
Mr. Williams, and Mrs. Ernst.
Yes. Mrs. Chambers will not be here at all tonight, and Ms. Palladino will not be here at all. Could I please have a motion to go into executive session for about an hour? We're a little bit late getting started, for the purpose of negotiations, attorney-client communications, and personnel.
Motion. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? You're in executive at 6:05.
Okay, we will abscond.
Opposed? Abstentions? We are out of executive at 7:01.
We all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening, everybody. The declaration of the Board of Education has already been read, and roll call has been taken. Mr. Williams, Ms. Palladino, and Mrs. Chambers are not present this evening. Moving on, do I have an emotion to, we don't need emotions. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Discussion?
Okay. Any
I'm
discussion?
not sure, but I think on item D7, second sentence, I think it should be submittal of the 2018 report, not the 2016 report, unless I've read that wrong.
Which section are you on?
It's
Mr. Cooper?
D7,
Under facilities,
This-
whatever, the finance rather.
yes, D7 report of the board secretary, the last page of our agenda. I looked at the exhibit and it didn't look like it was a 2016 exhibit, it looked like it was a 2018 exhibit. So unless I read that wrong, the agenda should reflect 2018 instead of
18, yeah.
2016.
Yes, thank you.
Right?
Yeah, but in the resolution, it had a typo of 2016 instead of 18.
Thank you, Mr. Kubricki. Any other discussion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? We have an agenda.
Motion to approve the minutes?
So made. Second.
Any discussion?
Tom's are updated? Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion's carried.
And I will turn the meeting over to Dr. McCooley for the superintendent's update.
Thank you. So first, the questions from the online Google Doc. We did have one question come in and one statement. The question was regarding the geese that have been annoying our yards outside. And I appreciate the question. Mr. Balone did take care of that. He put some measures into place to try to have the geese not land on our yard. And then also, with the help of the wood shop, we had one of those cutout geese put out there, so hopefully that helps. They are going to put some more out, they just ran out of materials. So thank you to our students and our staff for helping out. And then the other one was just a statement about students walking across the street, so it wasn't necessarily a question. The next thing that I have on my list is Regulation 9160, and Mr. Kubricki had a concern that we didn't have a regulation regarding sporting activities, how much they cost, and who is allowed to attend those with no charge. So now Regulation 9160 is available online, and if you look that over, you will see that the Board of Education is allowed to attend sporting events as per the vendor, and typically that is Mr. Sunderman, and he wants the Board of Education to attend those. So if you did not get one of the cards for those, please let me know, and I have those tonight. Attendance is one of our district goals for the year. The students are doing wonderfully. We had a meeting yesterday with some of the administrative team and the staff members that are on that task force. We went through those students that may have had more than 5 days out already, and we addressed the concerns. Why are they out? Has the home been contacted? And overall, the students are doing a really great job. So we're looking forward to a positive year with that. The adult school that Will Sunderman is now overseeing, he's coming up with some new ideas, and I'm reaching out to the public as well if there's any other things that anyone would like to see. He is creating a course in conjunction with John Balone for our custodial and maintenance staff that do not have their black seal yet. So for the convenience of it, they could take it right here. And that would also be extended to other local school districts if anyone needs to obtain that certification. Our student interest survey is going to be going out soon. The administrative team and I have been working on it. We have put on the survey some things to gauge their interest in academic academies that we may be creating for next year, as well as some dual enrollment courses. And we are also asking them their desire to take an AP course versus an honors course. So we're just getting some information from them, and I will be sharing the data with the Board of Education shortly. On November 6th at 6 o'clock, we're having a special board meeting, and thank you for answering so quickly. We are having representatives from Trenton come down to talk about a program called JAG, which is Jobs for America's Graduates. And they will give a comprehensive overview of an opportunity that I'm hoping that the Board of Education will support and that we will qualify for to help some of our students that are more career-oriented, and she'll go over all the parameters that night with you. So that'll be November 6th at 6 o'clock. I want to thank Mel Reed and the PEA group for their openness and their willingness to talk about the contract, to come to a initial agreement, but most importantly, to come after school and to vote on a schedule for next year. That was one of the issues that was holding up some of our negotiations. And old school democracy, we made paper ballots and everyone had an opportunity to vote and have their voice heard. So I just want to thank them for all of their hard work and their willingness to cooperate. Next, on to athletics. The CAT-I has been doing a wonderful job promoting our teams and how awesome they have been doing. So I did ask Will if he would put together just a little overview of some of the scores and some of the standings right now, because it's definitely something that should be celebrated. Our athletics are doing amazing. So for example, our varsity field hockey is 10-2. They were second in B South. They won the division the last 3 consecutive years. That's amazing. JV field hockey is 6-0-3. Varsity girls soccer is 9-1-2. They clinched B South division title for the first time ever. JV girls soccer is number 7 in the Shore Conference, 9th in Group 2 in the state. Varsity boys soccer is 9-3. They clinched B South division title back-to-back. JV boys soccer is 5-3-3. Varsity volleyball is 13-1. They tied for first in the division, number 1 in the Shore Conference, number 13 in the entire state in all groups. That is awesome. And JV volleyball is 13-1. So not only are our students coming to school doing amazing, but our sports are doing awesome as well. We had the Office of Fiscal Accountability and Compliance, School Preparedness and Emergency Planning, say that 3 times, come and do a surprise visit to our junior high. And we worked with the administrative team. We brainstormed a little bit. They went over the day's events, and they basically did an emergency drill. And we were in all sectors of the building, and afterwards we reconvened, debriefed, and they gave us some feedback on how our drill went. So I will be meeting with the administrative team again, and Steve had suggested putting it on the safety school agenda. So they did give us feedback in writing, and we appreciate them coming down and lending their assistance with that. And then just a couple of reminders. October 11th, tomorrow is Picture Day. October 26th is Homecoming Concert featuring Work in Progress. And the 27th is the Homecoming Game and Dance. And that's my update.
Presentations. Mr. Shore. Oh, I did. Go sit down, Mr. Shore.
Not yet.
Sorry, Mr. Shore. I forgot poor Mr. Balone and Mr. Moore for our facilities. I skipped right over that.
Sure, you can go to Eric if you want.
No, that's all right.
No, we like,
Go first, go first. You go.
Okay. Thank you for inviting me again. The only issue we had was we had a very wet September, and that affected a few of the things to finish up. One, The athletic field, we just started putting the turf down yesterday. So the turf for the football field went down. We took in 7 truckloads. The only issue we're gonna have, it's gonna rain tomorrow, it's gonna rain on Friday. So they're probably gonna continue putting the turf down. After that, will be the track surface and such, and finishing up a little details. Right now, we should be fine working with the winter track schedule because they're looking for it roughly around December. The weather also affected the tennis courts, trying to get the sidewalk, ballards, and the miscellaneous in. We just finished up the benches. We had some asphalt patching to do. We're looking to have it done within the next week or so. The athletic department has had a schedule to use an alternate tennis court, and they're gonna finish off there, so there should be no issues with that. Dealing with the renovation-wise, with this school right here, we're in the process of changing out some fire doors, which are in the corridors and miscellaneous on second shift. And we're in the course of working on the gang bathrooms of the first floor and the second floor. We're at a stage right now that we're doing the rough and plumbing, so that's progressing. Over in the over the high school, we do have masonry brick going up. You can't really see it behind the green fence, but the block for the gym, the brick is going up. We have ductwork going in for the new HVAC system, so it's progressing. And right now, we're also working on the plans for the last phase of the project, which will be the parking lot phase that will be going out to bid next year and will be done next summer.
Thank you, Brian, very much.
Okay, an update of what's going on in the school. We installed, I don't know if anybody's seen them yet, the water bottle fountains. We installed 3 of them in the schools, one near the gym, one down here in A wing, and one upstairs. We have one more to go, which we'll put on the second floor, back around by B wing. If you notice, they've been burnishing the hallways the last few days to keep them up and keep them shining. They've been, you know, concentrate on getting the school cleaner and keeping it clean.
We noticed.
Thank you. Anything else?
Anything else?
I don't think anything else, probably. We got-
Question, so are we still on track for the high school gym?
We're still targeting for January 1st to let us do the activities that were basically, the discussions were for athletic competition, not during class time.
Right.
Right.
So we're still on trying to target that and such.
Any other questions?
Trust me, he hears from me every day about it.
Okay, thank you both very much.
Thank you.
Now, Mr. Shore, I've been anticipating this.
I'm sure you have. Well, good evening, everyone. Dr. McCooley, members of the board, it is my pleasure tonight to serve up to you the Students of the Month for the junior high school, grades 7, 8, 9. So, Mr. Denning, without any further ado. Welcome back to our Student of the Month for the 2018-2019 school year. It is my privilege to introduce to you right now our 8th grade Student of the Month, Gianna Rosario. Welcome and congratulations once again.
Thank you.
So Gianna, why don't you just take a quick second to introduce to all the fine people that may be watching.
So, I love singing and acting and dancing. I've been in some of the Pinelands plays, and I also love doing makeup.
So I've got to see you, and I would agree with you. You are very, very talented. So keep up the good work.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. So we got to talk in my office the other day, and I let you know that you were nominated and won Student of the Month. So when you found that out, how did that make you feel?
I was really happy because I know that I worked so hard, and it felt so good to be recognized.
That's excellent. And like I said, congratulations once again. Very well deserved.
Thank you.
You're welcome. so you're 8th grade now, so what are some of the things that you've enjoyed about being a student at Pinelands?
I like this year in particular because I like being with the high schoolers because I've made a ton of friends from the high school plays that are in high school.
Oh, good, that's good to hear. Good, I'm happy for you. So do you want to take the opportunity right now to give a shout out or thank anyone for being supportive to you?
I'd like to thank Miss Junowitz first because she's awesome and always has my back. And then I'd like to thank my mom and my dad for always being so supportive.
All right, so as we end our interview, we're just going to answer a few little wacky questions. Are you ready for this?
Yep.
Okay. So if you had to describe yourself in 3 words, what 3 words would you use?
Confident, noisy, and friendly.
Okay, those are 3 good choices. Very good. All right. What is your favorite fast food chain?
Taco Bell.
Oh, Taco Bell. My kids love Taco Bell too. Good choice. Very good choice on Taco Bell. And our last question, if you won the lottery today, what would be your first purchase?
Probably an eyeshadow palette, to be honest.
Okay, very good. Well, Gianna, this was so great. I'm so happy for you.
Thank you.
Congratulations once again, and keep up the super work.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Gianna Rosario, everyone.
So first and foremost, I want to thank Ms. Junowitz for being here. This was the teacher that she referenced at the junior high school. So Ms. Junowitz, come here, Ms. Junowitz. And if you would do the honor, could you please present that to Gianna? Ladies and gentlemen, our 8th grade student of the month, Gianna Rosario.
Take care about ya. Yeah. Read the letter.
Oh, I can't. You're welcome, sweetie. Moving on to 9th grade.
Hello and welcome back. It is an honor and a privilege to be sitting next to John Stano, our 9th grade student of the month. John, welcome and congratulations.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. So, John, why don't you tell everyone that may be watching a little bit about you?
I play a lot of sports and I play soccer for the school, and I'm planning on playing tennis in the spring for the school.
Excellent. Will this be your first time playing tennis?
Yes.
Oh, good. So good luck with that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we got to talk in my office the other day, and I passed along the information that you were nominated in one Student of the Month. So when you found that out, how'd that make you feel?
I felt honored, and I felt very happy and privileged that I could get this reward.
Good. Excellent. So 9th grade now, you've been around for a few years. So what's been your favorite part about attending Pinelands Regional School District?
All the upgrades it's making, like the doors and the water fountains. It's just becoming a cleaner school, and I like it.
Good. Excellent. So do you want to take the opportunity right now to thank anyone that might be in the audience or listening or watching?
I like to thank my parents and my sisters for showing me that hard work really pays off.
Excellent. Very good. I'm sure they're just like us. They are extremely proud of you as well. All right. So very quickly, before we end, just a few quick random questions here, okay? So if you had to describe yourself in 3 words, what 3 words would you use?
Athletic, well-rounded, and intelligent.
Wow, 3 excellent choices. What is your favorite fast food chain?
McDonald's.
McDonald's, Mickey D's? Anything in particular, Mickey D's? Nuggets?
The chicken sandwich.
Chicken sandwich? Okay. And if you won the lottery tomorrow, what would be the first thing that you bought?
McDonald's.
McDonald's? Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are so proud of him. John Stano, our 9th grade student of the month. Congratulations once again. Keep up the great work. You're very welcome.
So John wasn't sure if he was going to be able to make it here. I don't see John, but congratulations to John. I'll make sure he gets this tomorrow. So congratulations, John.
Welcome back. It is an honor and a privilege to be sitting next to our 7th grade student of the month, Samantha Grant. Samantha, welcome and congratulations.
Thank you.
You are very welcome. So how have things been going over here at Frog Pond?
Good.
Good to hear. So why don't you take a quick second to tell everyone a little about you?
I have 3 cats, 1 dog. I'm in the interactive club. I don't do any sports, and I like to watch Netflix, play video games, and do my
On Netflix, is there a certain show that you're watching on Netflix right now?
Yeah, Liv and Maddie.
Okay, is that your favorite one so far? No? But it's the one you're watching right now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So we got to talk FaceTime the other day, let you know that you were nominated and won Student of the Month. So when you learned that information, how did that make you feel?
It made me feel happy and thankful.
Good, that's good to hear. Very good to hear. So you have your first month, the first month under your belt as a Pinelands Wildcat. What is something you've enjoyed about Pinelands?
The thing that I enjoyed about Pinelands is the teachers and how nice the students are.
Great to hear. So do you want to take the opportunity right now to maybe thank anyone that might be watching out there?
I would like to thank the teachers.
Good. I'm sure they're very happy to hear that, and they're very proud of you. So we're going to end the interview with a few little random questions. Are you ready for these? Okay. So the first question is, if you had to just describe yourself in 3 words, what 3 words would you use?
Helpful, loving, and thankful.
Wow, 3 great choices. What is your favorite fast food chain?
McDonald's.
TD's, okay. And last question, if you were to go home tonight and win the lottery, a lot of money, what is the first thing you would buy?
I wouldn't buy anything. I would help students and schools to give them money
Wow.
if they needed anything. They get college applications or needing money to get into schools.
Wow, that's great. What a great answer. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's an honor and privilege to introduce you to our 7th grade student of the month, Samantha Grant. Samantha, congratulations once again. Keep up the super work. So shortly after that interview, Samantha did inform me that she wasn't sure if she was going to be able to make it this evening because it is her parents' anniversary. So congratulations to Samantha and happy anniversary to her parents, and I'll make sure she gets this tomorrow. And that is the Students of the Month for the junior high school, and it is my privilege to introduce Mr. Bannon, the high school principal, for his Student of the Month presentation. Mr. Bannon, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shore. And I'm happy to present to you tonight our 3 students of the month for the high school as well.
I'm doing all right, getting good grades, the future's so bright. I gotta wear shades, I gotta wear shades.
Hello, welcome to Student Spotlight for the month of September. I'm Sean Bannon, principal of Pinelands Regional High School, and I'm here now with Rakaya Taylor. Rakaya is our sophomore student of the month. Rakaya, congratulations on this honor.
Thank you.
Rakaya, I know you're a relatively new student to Pinelands, but what do you think is the thing you enjoy most so far?
The atmosphere, like how everyone's like really family oriented and nobody's like really mean or anything nowadays.
That's excellent to hear. I'm glad you made this connection so quickly. Are there any classes you really enjoyed taking?
Bio.
Why does biology stand out so much to you?
The way they teach us and like how focused I get in the class, like our teachers are very nice and they keep everything controlled and simple.
Excellent, excellent. Are there any, you mentioned teachers, are there ones that have made a positive impact on you so far?
Miss Loomis, she is like one of the nicest people in the school. She helps everyone out if they need it, and she never asks us like questions if you feel bad. Like she lets you feel bad, you know. She's just a good person.
That's great. Math is not always the easiest subject, and I'm glad you have such a positive connection with your teacher already. So when you're not in the classroom, what do you like to do?
Play basketball.
You're gonna play for us this year too?
Yeah, of course.
And what position do you play?
Small forward.
And how's your jumper?
I mean, I'm not Stephen Curry, but I'm there. I can say like I'm J.R. Smithy a little bit.
Everyone knows shoot the Steph Curry line, right? Not many people attain it, but you do. Our team would love to have that too.
I don't know, maybe I have to work out.
And good luck to you. I look forward to seeing you out there this season. So is there anybody you'd like to thank for making you the person you are?
Shout out to Tori Shadle, Jocelyn, Kylie, and my brother, because like I know he's watching, so hi, buddy.
So have you started thinking about your future plans for after Pinelands?
Yeah, I want to be a biomedical engineer, so I want to make things to help progress health, like pacemakers and stuff.
It's a great field to go into, certainly very growing, and as you said, the connections you're making with your biology teachers, your math teachers, and so on, you're on the right path.
Thank you.
Rakaya, best of luck to you, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Rakaya. I'm so happy that you got Student of the Month. It's well deserved. Rakaya always comes to class with a smile on her face, and she can always put a smile on everyone else's face. She's a hard worker and a good kid. Keep up the good work.
I'm here now with
Rakaya, come on down. Congratulations. Very deserving.
Rachel Germain. Rachel is our junior student of the month. Rachel, congratulations to you on this honor.
Thank you.
Rachel, can you tell us what you like most about Pinelands?
Honestly, I think since it's smaller than most schools, like on average, now that I'm in 11th grade, it's like I know everybody in my grade, in the older grades and younger grades, so it's like in the halls, it's a super friendly environment. You know every kid in your class and the classes above and below you, just because we're smaller than like, it's not like there's 500 kids in a grade. So I like the personal, like, you're with your friends every day, and like everybody's close and friendly with each other, so it makes school fun, because you're with people that you like.
That makes sense. Is that something you like most about having the junior high and high school combined this year as well?
Yeah, honestly, and the fact that like I get to see my younger teachers from when I was in 7th and 8th grade, like I was super close with a lot of them, so like going to like visit them and say hi, like it really makes me happy. And then seeing the kids in their grades, like learning how we did when we were younger, it's like cool to see the like juxtaposition of both grades, you know what I mean?
Well put.
Yeah.
Are there any teachers in particular, since you mentioned them, that have made a super positive impact on you during your time here?
Yeah, the two teachers that I think like the most, that impacted me the most would be Mr. Grosso in 7th grade and then Mr. Caravano in 9th grade. They're both history teachers, and history actually isn't my favorite subject, but it was just like they connected with me on such a personal level and like would always be interested in what I was doing, and they would help me with anything, and we still have that relationship. So they definitely helped me a lot throughout my experience.
That's great to hear. I know it makes a huge difference between the teacher and the student, that personal bond where it's not just the subject. You like what they're doing, but you feel like you get them as a person and they get you too. So beyond that, is there anything you'd like to do when you're not in the classroom?
Outside of school, I love to, I'm in the drama department, the shows, so like musical theater is one of my favorite things to do, a good way to have fun, relieve stress of like, you know, academics and everything. I love to sing and dance, so that program is awesome for me.
Excellent. Are you going to be in the fall play?
I'm in the spring musical, not the fall play this year.
All right. Well, certainly look forward to seeing you in that as well. Have you started thinking about your life after Pinelands?
Yeah, I've started visiting some colleges. I think I want to be an engineer. I love math and science, so that's the path I'm trying to follow right now. Go to a tech school for engineering, maybe live in New York City. That's what I want to do.
Not a bad path. I know New York's very expensive, but engineering is a fantastic field to get into. It's definitely growing, and I wish you the best of luck there. I know you have a little more time with us as well to keep doing great things, and I'm sure you will. But congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thanks, Rachel.
So I want to say congratulations, Rachel, on Student of the Month. I cannot think of a better person to be honored as Student of the Month. My favorite part about you is the fact that you want to learn for the sake of learning. I know you were competitive with your grade in our class, but it was really impressive to see you just want to learn. So congratulations again, and good luck in the future.
Thank you.
I'm here now with Jake Griffin. Jake is our senior student of the month. Jake, congratulations. Jake, can you tell us where you work at?
Yeah.
Is it Mickey's, Jake?
Funny.
Yeah? And what do you do there? What do you do at work, Jake?
My day, you.
You vacuum?
Money.
Excellent, excellent. And what is your favorite song, Jake?
We
Yeah, We Will Rock You? Awesome, it's a great song, excellent choice. Now we're also joined by two of Jake's Challenger League buddies this month, which are Luke Mathis and Kieran Sunderman. Luke and Kieran, can you tell us about what's like working with Jake in Challenger League?
I'll go first. Jake is incredible. He's a great team player. He takes the game very seriously, and it's just it's an honor to work with him and the rest of his teammates. He does a very good job.
I think he's a great kid, very competitive, on and off the floor. Whenever we tell him to do something, he's right there, ready to go. He always helps out his teammates, and he just has fun when he's there. He makes everyone smile.
Excellent. Jake, congratulations again on this honor. Gentlemen, thank you again for joining us. And thank you for joining us again for another edition of Student Spotlight.
Congratulations to Jake for getting Student of the Month. Love having Jake in class. He's super energetic and loves being here, and he is just a wonderful young man. So congratulations, Jake. Congratulations, Jake. Congratulations.
Like, we also have all of the parents or family members of our students in the month for both the junior high school and high school. Please stand up and get a round of applause. Your students are not going to be who they are without you. So thank you as well. Thank you.
Dr. Stevenson is going to update us on the park assessment. Doesn't it feel good to be back?
You had no idea. Okay, I'm going to be as thorough and as brief as possible. The PowerPoint is available via the agenda if anybody wants to dig deeper. I'm going to just go through this and highlight some things. So it's not necessary for me to go over every statistic on here. Okay, so this is just a quick summary of what I see as some of the positives and some of the things that we need to work on. Very busy slide. However, what I want you to be aware of with the park, and by the way, park is going to be instituted this year in a similar fashion with the same platform. It does have a new name. It's New Jersey Student Assessments, Science, which we had last year, Math and English. So it is still existing. The same format will be in place for this school year. Very important with park is that there's a scoring from 1 to 5. And we want to make sure, what I'm going to report out on is all of our students who scored a 4 and a 5, meaning that they have met the standards, the grade level standards for the students, okay? So the column over to the right, if you notice there's all pluses here, meaning that the changes in levels 4 and 5 this is from 2016 up until this year. So what you're seeing is all pluses in this column, which is good, meaning that we have gotten better in our number 4 and 5 scores. So that's an improvement. And you want to see negatives in this column over here because that is the lower level of 1s and 2s. So when you see negative numbers, that means we're having less 1s and 2s, possibly more 3s, and most importantly, more 4s and 5s. The boxes that are highlighted in green, and you'll notice that green means good for tonight, and the red means and yellow means caution. So there will be a slide that has the cautionary sign on it. You'll notice that in grade 7, our level 5s, you'll notice from 2016 it was 6.9% of our students. It's risen all the way up to 29.3. And then you look at grade 10, which is in the lowest level. In 1, it started out as 42, and we're down to 17.8%. And then I'll highlight the 11th grade, which you look at level 4, which we started out at 23% in 2016, and we are now up to 39.8%. Although it is a little bit lower than last year, that percentage of range is still pretty common. Okay, so those are the two of the important stats that I wanted to point out. Those are all very good. This would be mathematics, and again, it's taking a look at the years 2016, 17, and 18, and for those historians, 2015 was the first year of Park. So 2016 is kind of the number I used because it's the students were a little bit more familiar with taking the exam the second year. So in this particular column, remember I said you had pluses and over here, you have a 9 and 2 negative numbers here. However, the number is not significant. It's 3.6 and only 7.9, and we don't want to see negative numbers, but unfortunately that happens. It could be the subgroup of students that we have. It could be a number of things, and of course we'll dig into that a little bit in the curriculum, make sure that we're doing what we need to do and finding some of the weaknesses in that. And that's why you'll notice here in grade 8, which is really the biggest issue that we had this school year. You're looking at 2016, we had 18.9% meeting expectations at level 4, and we're at 15.3. However, last year we had jumped up to 24.2. And when I pull up the state comparisons, I'll highlight that again. But you'll notice that there's 2 red lines there, meaning that that's the same cohort. So the grade 7 scores in 2017, that is the same group of students. However, the test is quite different. Mathematics 8 is very much algebra focused. So you will see drops in scores sometimes with grade 8, but that's an issue that we're going to have to address and take a look at a little bit more closely. As I said, it could be just a blip with this particular group of students in that particular year. I don't know. And then you look down at the bottom too, you'll see some cautions in there with geometry. Just because in 2016 in level 2 we were 35 and we're holding our own there, but we did drop last year and we picked back up again with the number of 2s, which is a little bit concerning. And you'll notice that in the 4s, meeting level 4, we started at 5.6 last year. We had a 30% of our students were there, and we dropped a little bit there. But still we remain in the plus side over here, which is good. And then finally in Algebra 2, you'll notice a significant drop here, 37.1% down to 31, which is good. That means our students are getting better. They've moved up into a 3 and or a 4 or 5. Very quickly, this is just a comparison to state level. Anytime I do a presentation, I will always compare it to what the state is. That's all I compare. And you'll take a look at the green, meaning good. You're seeing that in grade 7, we are exceeding state scores in grade 7. Okay, and in grade 11, same thing, which is pretty significant, 39.8 in grade 11 to 29.1 for the state. Okay, and here is the same thing for mathematics. And one of the things that it's very important to understand about athletics, here I'm going back to athletic director, I'm really getting old up here. With grade 8 is that some of our students in grade 8 are taking the Algebra 1 exam. So the numbers are kind of skewed in some ways, but you'll notice that I have up here the Algebra 1 scores for our 8th graders. Those would be students that are advanced. They're honors level students and they would be taking geometry in 9th grade. But this is a pretty good number here. 74% of our students are at level 4, and there are none at level 1s and 2, and you're looking at only 17%. So basically those students have met the graduation requirement in the 8th grade for the state. And then you'll notice in Algebra 1 that we do have a little bit higher rate than the state. And a little fact for you is that Algebra 1 is the #1 failed subject in the United States, by the way. So, okay. English language arts and mathematics, this is grade level, and this just goes the same thing. It shows you the percentage that are passing or meeting expectations, grade level expectations. So you can see those numbers, and the other piece that I wanted to highlight down here, you'll notice in the boxed area for geometry. And again, the junior high school students, that's the same cohort that would be taking Algebra 1 in 8th grade. So don't be alarmed by seeing that 10.3% in the high school, because those students, okay, so that number right there is our honors students. That's why that number is so much higher. And then again, that highlight, that 15.3%, and that's our grade 8, which is a target area for us to take a look at, see what's going on. This says what it says. This is just breaking down by subgroup, which the state requires us to do. And you'll take a look at special education and economically disadvantaged students. And this isn't going to tell you anything that we already don't know, is that academic achievement is definitely related to socioeconomic status. So you're going to expect those numbers to be a little bit lower, and we're not out of the ordinary in any of these scores, even with special education. And that's grade 10 and 11. You can look at those scores at your leisure. There's nothing on here that is alarming to me other than what I just told you. This is the mathematics, and you notice the green down here, and I highlighted the green simply because the number of students that we have that are 3s has definitely gone up with these populations, so that's a good thing. They may not be meeting expectations, but they're on the road to, which is a good thing. And we could even drill those 3 scores even down more if we wanted to see how many are very close to meeting expectations and not.
Cheryl,
Yes, ma'am.
So the 9 and the 72, those are number of students?
Yeah, number of
And you're
students is
working on-
9, right, and percentage is
Okay.
52.9, okay?
All right.
All right, good question. And that's geometry, and again, same thing. Okay, this is mathematics. And what I wanted to highlight here in Algebra 1 is the number of students that you have at the high school, At the high schools, you have only 38 students taking the exam, okay? So those students are below grade level anyway, so those scores are not alarming to me at all. Those are what we would expect. Okay, and just very quickly, we take a look at these scores, and so that you know we take this very seriously. We're going to continue to do the things that we know that are working, and those are bulleted up there, specifically with providing interventions where necessary to our at-risk population or students who are not performing at grade level. And administratively, we're going to continue to do these items also. And I'm constantly monitoring the graduation status of our grades 10 through 12 students. Again, this is all that we assume that all children can learn. And they enter 7th grade, we try to make sure we put them in the right position to be successful in the park. And just so you know, the park exam as it exists, or the state testing system, is going to eliminate 11th grade testing this school year. In the future, the state is recommending, Algebra 1 and English 10 is the only areas to be tested. What that creates is a void in annual test scores. So we've taken the initiative, which we had in plans for years, to do benchmarks that are common benchmarks that are aligned to these state tests, so that in the absence of them, if we do not have them in grade 9, we do not have them in other grade levels, we will have a benchmark assessment in there that kind of gives us a predictive ability on how they're going to do in the state test. Okay, and last thing that I want to leave you with is the future needs and considerations. These are things that we're going to keep, and Dr. McCooley has, really focused on expanding opportunities for our high school students, with dual enrollment online courses, magnet schools, and also credit recovery, which is something that we're in the process of helping out some of our students who are having difficulties, whether it be with attendance issues or whatnot, to make sure that they stay on target for graduation. And then we're going to continue with the RTI, which is the intervention services that we're using for our students who are not meeting grade level standards. So anyway, this PowerPoint is available. I don't want to, you can read it yourself and look at the numbers and dig down, but I tried to highlight some of the major points. Any questions? Yes?
That some of the math is crazy. Those numbers are crazy. So
They're not that far off. And they haven't been.
39 to 17, kind of weird numbers.
Yeah.
Really, that's a big range, but
Right.
it could have been, I guess it could have been anything, But if they're changing the name of it, are they changing park test?
The park,
as well?
the park format is aligned to standards. So the New Jersey Student Learning Standards are really, they're very, 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 very similar to the Common Core standards, and that test was built on testing those standards. So New Jersey is really not changing its direction in its standards. They're almost identical, so the test is going to remain the same. And New Jersey will be in the process of developing their own exam, but I will bet you that it will be mimicked and followed after the same kind of format that you're seeing from the park exam, because it is aligned to the standards in which we're teaching to.
So whatever those 8th graders take this year, are those 8th graders going to be, they're 9th graders now?
They're currently 9th grade students.
Okay, so they'll be taking the test and you'll be looking at those numbers, I guess, to see where the
Yes,
progress is.
yeah, and as I said, at the end of the first marking period, we already have an idea as to where the issues are. So the question is that we need to get early interventions in there. Some of them may have to take a second year or do an online course to supplement in order so they can meet the graduation requirement of passing Algebra 1.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Cheryl.
You're welcome.
Moving on to our work session portion. First item is our board goal action plans. I did go over, our third board goal, which was to follow the calendar given to us by New Jersey School Board, to make sure that we stay up to date. Everything that is required of us to be doing in October has been placed on the agenda, or it was taken care of last month, so we are on target. We're also on target with board goal number 1 because we have already taken care of some of the action items that we listed. And I don't know about our coming up with better communication. I've taken some of your suggestions regarding the president's update that I send out every Friday, which, God help you, you're kind of like stuck with whatever mood I'm in when I'm writing it. Sometimes I just meander on, but we are doing that, and as far as I know, we've all been very good about getting back to Melissa with answers as quickly as possible. So I would say we are also on target there. District goal action plans, Dr. McCooley? I know that they are in progress.
It's complete, yep, it's on, there's a link to it. And
Okay.
if anyone wants to give feedback, you are more than welcome to. It is complete.
And it's on the drive, right?
Yep.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Hannadell is our representative, our delegate, not only to the county workshops, but also the state. And she was at a meeting last night, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So, Ms. Hannadell, if you'd like to give us a brief update.
Yes, I just didn't have time to translate these, so they're on my phone. Little Lake Harbor was recognized for being a master board, so that's one of the reasons I went as well. And did they say it was the 4th time that you've gotten that?
Yes.
Or that board has gotten it, but in different variations or
No,
something?
that they originally received it prior to me being there.
Okay.
And then every time they keep their status, so they get another plaque. So they maintain their
So
their status.
you're maintaining it
Yes.
at this point, okay. And I know that's on our list to do now as well. Betty Ann did come as well, so that was really nice that I know Dr. McCooley was hoping that more people would come. Most of it was about funding for the state schools. And there is yes, Betty Ann showed me, there's a school board notes thing from school. It was very detailed and a little complicated, and luckily we don't have a lot of funding issues that other areas are having. Bigger schools losing a lot more money. But basically it was just a really good meeting. There was a lot of people. They're getting much bigger, and the meetings are great. Other people should attend. I don't really have anything else. You guys want to add anything?
No, just I noticed today on the school board notes there was a synopsis of the meeting. So if you want to have a little bit more information, we can.
Oh, that's what that is?
Oh, okay. Yep. It was good. I was going on.
Does anybody ever say anything about, could they have a little closer to South
They
Jersey?
have them all the time. They'll have the next one, it will be in December at the old Atlantis Country Club.
Cuisine on the Green, that's
Yeah.
great.
So they're having it there twice a year, I think, at least once a year.
Okay.
So I believe it's December or something.
Right, thank you, Kim. Thank you, Betty Ann, for attending.
I enjoyed it.
And congratulations.
Thank you.
Again.
Thank you.
And we have already started budget committee hearings, so that is a very good thing. We're kind of ahead of the game. So Karen, you want to give us your update? Karen is our chair.
Yeah, sure. So our budget committee had our first meeting, which our focus is developing the budget for the next school year, so we're talking 19-20. So we are getting an early start, and our meeting was just Monday. We focused on developing the calendar so that we weren't so crunched at the end. So our budget committee is myself, Mr. Kaburki, Mr. Williams, and Mrs. McVeigh, as well as Mr. Brennan and Dr. McCooley was there. So we met Monday, just got together, developed the calendar, tried to lay out the game plan, reviewed At a high level, the 18-19 budget, we are currently, our auditor is here, and once our final audit is set, we'll then use that as a base to build for 19-20. We also, I had shared some of the state data that was based off of last year, because the state data is not yet updated for this year, where we looked at certain criteria, some important measures for how we compare with other school districts. And then also, we just talked high level for 19-20. So we don't really have too much to share at this point. I want to thank Betty Ann for drafting the minutes. I saw you got to that already, so thank you so much. We will share them with the entire board so you can keep informed. And we did set our next budget meeting. We decided early on we'll meet monthly until the information starts coming together a bit more. So we set our next budget meeting for November 13th before our strategic meeting.
Thank you very much, Karen. Anybody have questions? I'm gonna go ahead to the board forum, and then I'm gonna, before we move on to residents forum, I think we have a member of student council here. Okay, all right. I didn't want to forget you. All right, board forum. Mr. Bonnicky.
I have nothing at this time.
Okay. Kim.
I love the new format for the students of the month. I thought it was really, really good, and it was delightful. They were delightful. I loved them. That's all.
Nothing at this time?
Mr. Kubricki.
I'm going to surprise you. I have nothing at this time.
I'm telling you, you've been very obscure lately.
We're going to faint.
Karen.
I just will echo the thoughts that Dr. McCooley opened with our sports team. And I'll say, wow, you want to talk about some Wildcat pride? These students and our coaches, I know, have worked hard over the years, and it's nice to see that it, you know, practice and hard work pays off. So they have much to be proud of. So congratulations to our athletes and our coaches.
Thank you, Karen. I also like the format for the Students of the Month. And this year, for some reason, it hit me, some of the things that they were saying, that we sit around and worry about, oh my, we have all these kids, we've got 8th grade through 12th grade, you know, are we doing the right thing? We didn't have any choice. But it seems that the kids have adapted very, very well. And to hear one of our juniors say, you know, that she is able, you know, to see, you know, old teachers that she had in junior high, and then she knows her upperclassmates or the kids that are below. I thought that was awesome. And it's kind of a relief too. So it was very nice to hear. All right, I'm going to bring up our student council member.
So I would just say to that, no surprise, I think our kids are great.
I think our kids are great too.
So far, we've had our first pep rally.
Could you give us your name, please?
I'm Juliana Sacamano. Our first pep rally went really well, other than we need to work on getting more students to come out to it. All the sports teams were very enthusiastic throughout the whole event, and we will try getting to have more pep rallies throughout the year. Our sports teams, as you have said before, are doing very well. Varsity soccer for boys and girls both are B South champions this year. Homecoming is coming up. Students are extremely excited for it. And today the PSATs went over very well. The hallways were extremely silent throughout the day. So that's all I gotta say.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to residents forum. This is for agenda items only. Would anybody like to speak?
Hello, it's nice to see you all again.
Hi, Rick.
Hello. Rick Meller up the Sandpaper. I missed a few months with prior commitments, so I watched you. What a bunch of movie stars you are. So. And I got here late today because I was just covering the congressional debate at Stockton. I'm glad I didn't miss it. That was something. Questions that I have are about the night custodial maintenance supervisor. Watching on tape, I saw that Dr. McCooley said she'd done a 3-year study, I believe, on overtime?
Yes.
Yes. But you only mentioned last year. And I want to ask if the board members have seen that study and have seen the overtime for the previous 2 years, because I expect that last year was kind of an outlier. And was it an outlier? I saw one of the members hold it up. Was there significant overtime in the other 2 years?
The Board of Education has seen the information.
The public doesn't have the right to know if there was significant overtime in the previous 2 years?
It was consistent. It was consistent with the previous 2 years.
Okay, very good. The other question is, it was brought up at that meeting that we already had foreman. I would assume a foreman, by the definition of the word, is a supervisory person. So I wonder why we need a new position, and if you do agree on it, will the foreman no longer be foreman? You can answer that later. And the third question, I believe it was said at the last meeting that we have 4 custodians working during the daytime. And I think the number was 14 in the evening, is that correct?
I don't know the number of night custodians working daily. What's the average number, John?
12.
12.
So it is 4 and 12, correct? And I was just wondering, instead of paying for a new position, if Mr. Barone could come in a couple of evenings a week.
It's below.
I'm sorry?
Below, not Barone, below.
Below, I'm sorry.
Excuse me, are you asking a question or giving?
Yes, I'm asking if Mr. Balone could come in a couple of evenings a week instead of having to pay for a new position, considering the majority of the workers work during the evening. And that would be it, thank you.
Whatever you want to do.
I will try to address all of your questions. What's on the agenda for tonight, which your question is geared towards, is the actual position. Keep in mind, it's a shared service position. If the position is approved tonight, it will be a shared service with Little Lake Harbor. So the cost of the position obviously would be shared. The board, it has been updated in regards to the study that was done over the last 3 years, and also the need for this position in both school districts. In terms of Mr. Balone coming in at night, he does. He comes in on the weekends. He comes in randomly. He comes in when needed. So he is already here.
And I do have one additional question. If I believe it on the tape, at one point you were asked, Dr. McCooley, if the only problem was sabotage, and you responded something along the lines of, no, there are plenty of nights that not much is getting done. But at the same time, if I recall correctly at the last meeting, I think it was 2 board members who said that when they came in the beginning of the school year, it was the best they had ever seen the school look. So I wonder how you can have, not much is getting done, the best the school had ever looked.
That's your question?
Yep.
So as in every department, in every school district, there's positives and negatives. I believe that Mr. Balone's department is doing a great job. They're working hard. The school is beautiful. The teachers have commented on it. The staff has commented on it. But there are some issues that we still need to address. Regardless, we feel that looking at data, looking at the fact that we have a $53 million referendum project that will be complete soon with a brand new gorgeous building, having a shared service night supervisor could only provide extra assistance to ensure that our facilities are maintained.
Thank you. Would anybody else like to speak? All right, moving on then. We're going to go on to our committee reports. Stephen, could you possibly do our instructional for us this evening?
Sure.
Thank you.
On the recommendation of the superintendent, I'd like to present committee reports A, 1 through 9 for board approval.
Do we have a second?
Second?
Do we have any discussion?
Yes. And I apologize, I did not ask in advance, but item 4, I'm happy to see that we have made arrangements for the drama production, and we've secured that facility early for them. My question is, do we provide transportation as well for our students there, or do they get there on their own, and is that something that maybe we want to consider?
Do you need to watch the performance?
No, for the practice.
That's what this is for. This is to provide transportation back and
To
forth.
provide the transportation?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I thought this was just to secure the location, that they'd be there, but it's also including the transportation too.
It's the transportation is being
Gotcha.
provided, yes.
Okay, good.
You're welcome.
Any further discussion?
Can I ask a general curriculum question I should have asked before?
Sure.
It's so intense. Like, I've read a couple of them, the calculus and the biology, and do they literally, those things that are in the curriculum, for all the classes, they read, they literally, like, it's really detailed. So, I guess.
So basically what they do, and Cheryl can jump in if I miss something, so there's already a syllabus, there's already a curriculum that exists, and then what they do to update it is they look at if the standards have changed. So as New Jersey comes up with new standards, or we had Common Core, they take what they currently are teaching for the course, and they look at the standards and those that have changed, and they ensure that they're not missing anything and that what they're teaching is aligned to the current standards. So they have a baseline to already work with, and then they take that and they go through that thoroughly and make sure that they're not missing anything aligned with the standards, and that they're, they can perhaps eliminate some things if the standards change.
And then the teachers use that and then
As
follow
their
it
guide, yes.
As their guide, and then, okay. It's very impressive, actually. They really are.
Okay, any further discussion? All right, Mr. Bonnicky?
Yes.
Ms. Hennadel?
Yes.
Mr. Kubricki?
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh?
Yes.
Mrs. Paklakua?
Yes.
And Mrs. Ernst?
Yes.
Motion's carried.
Jeff, would you do personnel, please?
Certainly. Under personnel, upon the recommendation of the superintendent, I'd like to make a motion for approval of items B1 through B12.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes, I'd like to discuss B8, night custodial. Just, I had some concerns initially that were expressed by my favorite reporter, and that have been expressed by the board in terms of certain issues by Jeff and I think by Betty Ann, and I had come very recently to the point where I was going to vote no on that item. But Dr. Macaulay, was extremely persuasive and took all my arguments and basically not only addressed them, but made such a strong supportive case that I am now obliged to vote in the affirmative. So the point I'm trying to make, I think the board looked at that very deliberately, and we asked the questions, and the answers provided, at least from my point of view, were so strong to change my position from a negative to a positive with respect to that item.
Thank you, Stephen.
Okay. Any further discussion? Mr. Bonnicky?
Yes.
Ms. Hennadel?
Yes.
Mr. Kubricki?
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh?
Yes.
Mrs. Paklakua?
Yes, with the exception of item 12, due to some contract provisions. No.
Mrs. Ernst?
Yes.
Motion's carried.
Operations, Mrs. McVeigh?
Certainly, with the recommendation of the superintendent and the business administrator, I'd like to present items C1 and C2.
Okay, do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Okay. Mr. Bonnicky?
Yes.
Ms. Hennadel?
Yes.
Mr. Kubricki?
Yes.
Mrs. McVeigh?
Yes.
Mrs. Paklakua?
Yes.
Mrs. Ernst?
Yes.
Okay, motion's carried.
And D, for the report of the board secretary. Kim?
With the recommendation of the superintendent and the business administrator, we present the following 1 through 7 for finance.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Yes. Financial reports, July or August?
I just noticed that they're both should read
They should
August. I
both,
changed it
yep.
online.
Yep.
Sorry for the typo. Okay, any
Yep.
further discussion?
Yes. So I had posed some questions regarding item 7. And I understand that that's wording per the resolution. I am hesitant to approve a maintenance plan that, per our resolution, states that those items that are listed and budgeted for, those maintenance items, my concern is the second paragraph where we state that these measures are reasonable to ensure our facilities are kept open and safe for use in its original condition and maintain the validity of our warranties.
And I'm sorry, where is that?
So it's item 7.
It's in the
We
exhibit.
know
It's in
the
the
facilities
actual
are not
exhibit.
kept open and it's not safe for use.
No, I
So
mean your actual line. I couldn't find that. I saw that in your note, in the
it is
questions.
the last sentence.
It's the last sentence.
Right on the page here.
So I don't know if there's anything we can, I know Steve, you noted that that was statute language.
Oh, it's on the agenda.
But
Yeah, I
I
mean,
am
I-
uncomfortable saying that this list helps us keep our buildings safe and open. So, I don't know if there's any advice from our attorney.
That is the recommended statutory language for the resolution.
We do have some maintenance items. We have security, we have electricity, so there is some basic maintenance being conducted in the high school. And we're also going to reoccupy a portion of the high school on January 1st. So, I don't know.
If the building is not kept open and the building is, for our current school year that we're approving this plan for, that building is not open and safe for use, clearly.
Well, I think it's a definition of open. You look, it's open because maintenance workers go in there and work during the day. It's not open to students, but the facility is open.
And the students are somewhere.
I think the word you're looking for is operational. It's not operational this year, but it is open, and in terms of the safety, as Ms. McVeigh said, it's safe for those that are working in it.
May I?
Yeah, John,
And
did
the
you wanna
question
add
was
something?
asked to our council.
The building's open, okay? I have to maintain the fire alarm, I have to maintain the security, and I have to maintain all the fire extinguishers. The state looks at it as being open. There's people in the building that consider open, even though it's not occupied by staff and students. Okay? Does that help at all? So,
I guess, yeah.
okay. Okay.
Kelly, you have anything you'd like to add?
I don't think you're certifying anything that would be contrary to the law in terms of the spirit of the resolution and the maintenance of the plan. I think you're safe to move forward. The submission of the maintenance.
Okay, but if we're, I guess I feel like if we're certifying that it's open and safe to use, then why do we have a $53 million referendum? Right, to me, it's just,
Because the,
right, so I
Vote no, and you're
had
protected should there be
requested-
any lawsuit.
it needs to be open so that the construction can continue in there to fulfill our $53 million referendum. You can't have a facility that people are working in that's not safe. It's safe for the construction to be going on.
What is the second part of that? Safe for use or in its original condition? What's the original condition aspect that clarifies that last sentence? Or doesn't?
I'm not sure of the exact legislative history in terms of what would provide for an original condition of the building. I don't know if the business administrator has any information with regard to that particular provision. But I would imagine that the idea is that the building's not in such an amount of decay or
I think what they mean by that is for it to keep up maintenance on the
Yes.
building, to its original condition, the way it was built, to totally keep the building up to condition, not let it deteriorate over the years.
So then that's what the building referendum would be doing, putting it back to its original condition.
Yes.
that's not what the maintenance plan is doing.
The maintenance plan is to keep it, after we do get done spending this maintenance, this money, to keep it up. It's just a general blanket thing, it's done for all the schools, to keep it running and to keep it up to code, to keep it.
And I understand we do this yearly, I mean,
Right.
we've done it every year, I'm just saying that's my position.
And I
on it.
understand, I do understand what you're saying. Any other discussion? Okay, go for it, Steve.
Mr. Bonnick?
Yes.
Ms. Hennadel?
Yes.
Mr. Kabricki?
No.
Mrs. McVeigh?
Yes,
Mrs. Pakotua?
I'm a yes on everything with the exception of item 7 is a no.
Oh, that's what I meant also. I'm
Oh.
sorry, I didn't
I
know
figured
that.
that's what you meant.
if you meant.
Yeah,
So Stephen was a
yes to everything.
yes to
except
everything,
item
but
7.
a no on 7.
Duly noted in the minutes. Mrs. Ernst?
Yes.
Motion's carried.
All right, moving on to residents forum. This is on general topics.
I'm sorry, I just want to jump in real quick, that the board members are abstaining on their own travel under item.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, number
Good
5. I
5.
forgot that.
Yep.
That's okay. For those of you who don't understand, that's for the New Jersey School Board's convention. All right, moving on to residents forum and general topics. Would anybody like to speak to us?
What is going on with you?
We're being nice.
Don't
I
encourage
was
him.
gonna yell. I was gonna yell. 1, 2, 3.
Are you giving up, Jamie, now?
No.
Okay. Anybody else?
We'll have some private conversations after the fact.
Awesome, then I am going to move on to the final board forum, and I will begin with Mr. Kabricki this time.
Thank you. With respect to policies that we passed, provisions remain in policies 2431 and 2431.8, which I support, and I voted yes on those policies, and they were in our past policies also, but I'm not sure that we are following the last 3 provisions, the last 3 sentences in that policy, and let me just read those provisions. And why I
Stephen,
think-
can I stop you for a minute? This is 2431 and 2431.8. Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
It's on athletic competition. And the policy requires that the board shall approve annually a program of interscholastic athletics. When I read that, and the word shall, like our attorney tells us, means a condition to do, I don't think since I've been on the board, we've ever approved annually a program of interscholastic athletics, which means, and 2431 says, the Board of Education, upon recommendation of the superintendent, shall approve school-sponsored interscholastic athletics and extracurricular activities. So I think that there's got to be discussion, and a good time now is where we're doing our 5-year planning to discuss what type of athletic opportunities we want to provide for our students and follow this policy where annually as a board we approve what sports we're going to offer. Are we going to have bowling, or are we going to have archery, or are we going to have equestrian things? I mean, so I think we need a real discussion of that, what these things cost, how many students want to participate in them. We just approved a hockey club. You know, there's lacrosse, there's boys volleyball. I think, you know, that's a requirement of this policy to provide an annual program that the board approves based on the recommendation of the superintendent and the athletic director. It doesn't say athletic director. So I think this year we need to follow that policy, and by sometime during the year come up with a program that we can talk about. You know, what should we offer? What shouldn't we offer? Why should we offer? What does it cost? What will it apply in terms of students getting scholarships? You know, programs like fencing, maybe there are more scholarships than programs like bowling. I mean, you know, so there's a whole bunch of issues that I think need to be addressed in providing that report. And I leave it to the administration to take the lead on that and sometime engage the board in that discussion.
Can I, if I read the policy, you're talking about shall approve, but we're not creating.
No, that's
We're
right.
approving what's being brought
That's
to
what
us
I said,
through the
yes.
athletic director when it comes to athletic schedules, which we always
What does it say athletic schedule, athletic program? We've always approved an athletic schedule, but we haven't
Scheduled program,
approved the
we're
program
talking semantics, aren't we?
behind that athletic schedule.
I don't think we are.
We've approved the coaches and when they're gonna be scheduled, but we've never approved whether we want a bowling team, or whether whether that makes sense to have a bowling team. And I think that's what both of those, if you look at 2431.8 and 24.31 require an annual report. These are the sports we offer, these are the programs we offer, these are the things we think we should add, these are the things we think we need to cut back, what things cost. That's what an annual program report, I think, would serve this district well and move it forward in the area of athletics.
So I can talk to Mr. Sunderman about this. As Mr. Bonnicky pointed out, he really is in charge of this. He's the expert in this field. But the board does approve the PEA contract, which has all of those appointments in them. So at the end of that, there's an appendix that outlines all of those appointments for those coaching positions. So in essence, you are approving them. But if on an annual basis you wanted to see something, Mr. Sunderman could put together his recommendations for the upcoming year of which athletics he's recommending. And then as we did with the hockey club, if things come up, then they go on the board agenda.
I think it also would be a good idea for the discussion in November from the body politic in terms of the community, in terms of what's our plan for the next 5 years. Well, our plan includes athletics, and what, that might be a good agenda item to work into that discussion, to see what the public, what opinions they have with respect to the sports we have here.
I don't, and this is, you're just referring now to athletics, right? You're not talking about our other clubs.
No, because
But
2431
okay,
just says interscholastic athletics program.
All right.
So I
Karen?
like the idea of stepping back and reviewing what we have, and maybe if you could coordinate that with our athletic director, that'd be great. I would just wanted to add that annually we do approve participation in the program of NJSIAA. So my guess is that qualifies as, that's how we're fulfilling that policy, that we annually approve participation with NJSIAA.
I might get my reading of that,
But
might need.
stepping back and looking at what we have versus maybe the needs. It's always good to do that.
Okay, I think it's a good point. Anybody, moving up to Karen, you have anything you'd like to add,
Yeah,
Karen?
Just, so everyone's aware, the next meeting date is listed. We also have two other dates. November 6th, we are here for the JAG presentation, Jobs for America, Growth or something?
America's Graduates.
America's Graduates. And then also November 13th is our strategic planning meeting. So those other dates are upcoming as well.
Did you have to do that because I had them reversed? In the president's update. Thank God Jeff caught me. Okay, Mr. Bonnicky.
I'm not so much of a catcher. But no, I have nothing else to add. At this time, I'll send you an email.
Oh, geez, thanks.
It'll be a good one.
A good one?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. Yeah.
I do want to add something. I want to thank everybody who came out for strategic planning. There were 65 people, and I'd love to see a few more parents. And there was actually a parent at my group who, her children aren't here right now, but they may be coming back next year. So again, November 13th, if you can make it, we would love to have you.
I would agree. I had the pleasure of having attended the strategic planning. I would encourage anybody to come. It's not too late. Come right on the 13th and get right involved. So have a good evening.
I really have not much to add. Again, I did not get to congratulate our athletic teams. They have just been amazing. I think our students are amazing. They are resilient beyond belief. I am so proud of everything that they are doing to change culture, to change perception. And they can't do that without their teaching staff and their administrators. So I want to thank you also. And that is it. So may I please have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Second.
Does anyone need a card?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? We are adjourned.
So, the volleyball team just beat their last real life South competition, so you can pretty much put
Yes.
them in.